privilege to be here today with you. And what a great thing to know that we can have a fun time while we're changing the world, right, guys? We can have fun while we're doing this whole world changing thing. So no one does it better than you guys. I just want to absolutely give honor first to God for life and health and breath, that I can be here with you today. I want to give honor to Dr. Willie Jolly and to Shay and to Trevor, to your whole team, for putting this whole amazing event together. We truly can change the world. Not just can change the world, but we are changing the world. And I am so honored to be a part of changing the world with some of the best people on the planet. So thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. This is amazing to all of you. I'm coming to you live from beautiful Austin, Texas. I am Jan Goss Gibson, America's #1 master confidence strategist. Nothing gives me more pleasure than seeing you succeed. When other people succeed, I don't know why it makes me so happy, but it does. You know, I've heard about people who get really mad when other people succeed, or they get jealous, or they're like, oh, how come they did that and I couldn't do that? I don't think like that. When you succeed, do you know that I get up, I do the happy dance. I am so excited when other people succeed. It's just the way I'm wired, I think. But nothing gives me more pleasure than to even be a tiny part of your success. So that's why I'm here today. That's why I have hooked up. That's why I'm connected with the Change the World 14, this whole success series, because I want to see you succeed. Don't you want to succeed? I'm here to help you and to add to your success any way I can. Today, I want to help you with some secrets of the pros. These are secrets that I learned when I was at the Protocol School of Washington, right there in beautiful Washington, D.C. I went to school with ambassadors and diplomats and the presidential staff. And I came out of that training. I graduated from the Protocol School of Washington there in DC. And I came out of that experience in my life on fire, understanding more about first impressions than I ever had before. And over the last 7 years, I've literally created a business where I travel from coast to coast and help business owners with their business's first impression. Have you ever heard that saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression? Well, it's true. We only get 5 seconds to make that first impression. And honestly, we get a little bit less than that. We really don't even get 5 seconds. But today I'm going to give you 5 seconds. And I want to boil down what needs to happen in that first 5 seconds. So first of all, let me just invite you to come here into my home with me. This is up close and personal time with Jan Goss Gibson. We're just going to lean back, kick your shoes off, whatever you need to do to just relax, and let's have some intimate time together so that we can kind of pull back the curtain and look at what makes a great first impression. What is an impression? Think about it for a moment. When I was in the Washington, D.C. area about a year ago, I was asked to come speak to this amazing group of young men. It was the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. And let me tell you, when I walked in the room and saw those young men, I was blown away. Talk about a first impression. They were put together to the nines. I mean, their shoes were polished, their hair was cut, they were dressed beautifully, they held themselves, had great posture, And I was blown away at the quality of these young men. An impression does just that. It says, I'm impressed or I'm not impressed. And it all happens in the first 5 seconds. What is an impression? When I was watching my 2-year-old granddaughter, I carried her upstairs to tuck her in bed. And as I laid her in her crib, I noticed on the chest next to her crib a little square of plaster of Paris. And in that little square was this precious little handprint. It was Kylie's little hand that had been pressed in to this plaster of Paris, and it made an impression. And I looked at that, oh my goodness, this grandmother's heart nearly beat out of her chest. I was so touched by that little tiny handprint that was in that plaster of Paris. That was Kylie's impression of her little hand. That's what a first impression does. It leaves your handprint on someone else's mind and their heart. It's your own individual handprint that you leave. Why is a first impression so important? Because that's the way that you show up in this world. And I can't show up like you show up. You can't show up like I show up. There is only one of you. And if you don't show up, and you don't show up in the first 5 seconds, the world isn't going to see who you are. It's critical to learn how to show up authentically, how to show up in that first 5 seconds. So let's look at this. We know what an impression is. An impression is your imprint. It's the imprint that you make on someone's heart and mind within the first 5 seconds of any encounter. Why is it important? Number one, because you never get a second chance to make that first impression. And the second reason why it's so important to make a great first impression is because connecting is what makes our life rich. Connecting with other human beings is what affects the quality of our life. And the better first impression that we make, the better quality of connections we make, the better our life is. And that's personally and professionally. I have great connections in my life. Look at the connections with Shay and Trevor and with their whole tribe. Amazing people, first-class people. Somehow we find each other. Because when you're putting yourself out there, when you're showing up in that first 5 seconds, you find other people who do the same, and we connect with each other. It increases the quality of your connections when you learn how to make a great first impression. So the question now is, how? How, Jan? How do I make my best first impression? Well, it's as easy as ABC. A, your appearance. B, your behavior. And C, your confidence level. So let's look at the ABCs of making a great first impression. Number one is your appearance. And your appearance is seen from a distance. People see you coming and they make an assessment within the first 5 seconds about your age, your socioeconomic status, your ethnicity, your gender. There are many decisions that are being made in that first 5 seconds, many assessments about who you are. So our appearance matters. It matters how you present yourself. It matters how you show up with your physical appearance, with your clothing, with your hairstyle. If you haven't updated your glasses in a while, get your glasses updated. It's time to step into the now and be the best you that you can be right now. So appearance does matter. Part of your appearance is also your presence. Appearance is the outward. Your presence comes from within. Have you ever known a person, typically it's an older person, who is just bitter and angry, just kind of what we call a crotchety old person? And didn't you know that they were bitter before they ever opened their mouth? You see, what is inside of you is coming out whether you realize it or not. Showing up to make your best first impression is a deep work, because we have to clean out the trash. We have to clear out our head trash. And I like to say, empty your trash every day. If you don't, your life will stink. Trash stinks. So we want to be sure that we empty our trash every day. Get rid of the bitterness. Get rid of the anger. Get rid of the unforgiveness. Get rid of those obstacles that are standing in your way, that are keeping you from showing up and showing up as powerful you in the first 5 seconds of every encounter. So your appearance, it matters. Not just your appearance, but your presence as well. Be sure that you have the right presence when you show up. B is your behavior. When I walked in and saw that room full of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity young men, their behavior was impeccable. Part of your behavior when you show up for your first impression has to do with your posture. If I came to you all slumped over today and told you that I am America's #1 master confidence strategist, what just happened to my credibility? It went out the door, didn't it? So our posture matters. Let me give you 4 simple steps to adjust your posture. Some of you need to adjust your posture right now. You're not showing up right now the way that you could be showing up because we get a little lazy. Sometimes we have the weight of the world on our shoulders and it shows up. So let me give you 4 quick steps. If you'll bring your shoulders straight up, straight back, straight down, and then tuck in your diaphragm right here. That is good posture. You can practice this when you're seated. You can practice when you're standing. Let's go at ease. I want you to do it with me this time. Everybody ready? Here we go. We're going to show up. We're going to show up as our best self. You ready? Bring your shoulders straight up, straight back, straight down, and tuck in your diaphragm right here. All right. Don't forget to breathe. I don't want anyone turning blue and passing out on me here. This is a part of your behavior to help you show up and show up as your best in that first 5 seconds. So before you enter a room, before you come in contact with other people, take a moment and adjust your posture. Take a deep breath. Get present. Be in that moment. Adjust your behavior so that you can make your best first impression. Put a smile on your face. Be sure you make eye contact with people. Eye contact says this: I see you. And it also says, I am confident. Which brings me to the C of our ABCs, of just showing up, being your best, making your best first impression. And this piece is my heart. It's about confidence. You see, I grew up this skinny little kid. Some days I wish for some of that skinny. How many of you know what I'm talking about? But when you're a little kid, a little skinny, scrawny kid, I was so insecure and I was ashamed to even walk across a room. I was the first girl after 3 boys in my family, so I felt like a little bit of a misfit. Have you ever felt like a little bit of a misfit before? I knew that I belonged in my family, but I still didn't quite feel like I fit. So how did that skinny little insecure girl go from that space to speaking on stages in front of thousands and feeling confident and feeling secure? Well, I'll tell you how it happened. I learned the secret of being me. I learned the secret of being Jan and showing up as Jan, not trying to copy anyone else, not trying to be anybody else, but just being the very best me that I can be. I learned how to live the confident life. Your confidence level determines the quality of your life. Let me say that one again. Your confidence level determines the quality of your life. Think about it with me. Have you ever known someone that lived their life in fear? And it was so sad because they lived all of their life and went to their grave never realizing the dreams that lived inside of them. You see, fear robs us of our confidence, and your confidence level determines the quality of your life. Dr. Miles Monroe said it like this. He said these words: "Do not go to your grave with one gift left inside of you." Those words rang through my being and shifted the way that I live my life. So here I am, a decade later, and I have stepped into my confidence because I am determined that when this physical body hits that grave, that it's going to go empty. I am going to pour myself out. It may be through a webinar like this. It may be from a stage. It may be one-on-one. It may be through a coaching program. It may be through an audio series. I don't know what it has to look like, but one thing I know is I'm going to pour out every gift that is inside of me before I leave this planet. How many of you are on board with that one? Let's raise both hands. Let's pour out so that we can be the world changers that Shay and Trevor are talking about. We truly can make a difference in this world. We can make a difference in the way that we show up, and in the way that we show up in that first 5 seconds, so that we can make our very, very best first impression. Live the confident life, and you will make your best first impression. To live the confident life, it takes practice. If this stuff was easy, everyone would do it. Sometimes the principles are so easy, we say, Jan, I already have that. Really? You think adjusting my posture is going to change my life? Yes, it is. And it changes the way other people perceive you. So in your mind, you may be saying, I already know that. I know to adjust my posture. Here's my question. Are you doing it? Are you adjusting your posture? Are you staying in your power? Are you aware? Are you being present? Are you showing up in the moment? Because these are the ways that we make our best first impression. And it doesn't just fall out of the sky and fall into our heart or fall into our head and then we do it. It takes practice. You have to have a method. You have to have a system. You know how I know that? Because you're just like me. And if I don't have a method and I don't have a system in place, if I haven't developed habits of confidence, good behavioral habits, good habits with my appearance and my presence, then I fall off the bandwagon just like everybody else. So I have something very near and dear to my heart that's happened in the last week. And I believe it was partly for such a time as this. For years, I have had a heart to reach out and help people build their confidence, help people make their very best first impression. And there are many who can't afford our consulting services. I understand that. But everyone deserves to feel confident. Everybody does. So we are soft announcing. It's not really out yet. We haven't done our launch yet. But I have something that works. It's proven. It has shifted companies. I just got a call day before yesterday about a dentist office who this totally shifted their dental office and the way that they treat each other and treat their clients and show up in this world. And you can find it at livetheconfidentlife.com. That's LIVE, theconfidentlife.com. And when you go there, you will see what I'm talking about. It's 21 days for you to live a confident life. It's a challenge. And guess what? Is it free? No, it's not. But it's $1 a day for $21. $1 a day for 21 days. You can shift your confidence. Could I have done this for free? You bet. My life is not hanging on whether you invest in yourself or not, but your life is. You must invest in yourself if you are going to break through and if you're going to realize your dreams and become the best you that you can be and show up powerfully in this world. So I made it as easy as I can for you to participate. You will get a piece every morning. It takes 5 minutes a day. It's downloaded into your phone, downloaded onto your computer, and you'll have a little mini lesson. You'll also have an affirmation to speak out of your mouth. You'll have an action to take that day. So it gives you very specific actions to take. And then you'll have a secret of the pro so that you will be in the know. I am humbled, honored, excited to even be able to tell you about this. Please go to livetheconfidentlife.com and know that you can live the confident life. There are no excuses. Even if you're still stuck where I was as that insecure person, not knowing how to show up in the world, I know how to get you from there to here and help you live the confident life. Why? Confident people are happy people. Confident people have better relationships. Confident people statistically make more money. I just gave you 3 reasons to step into your confidence, to make your best first impression, and to go out there and be the very best you that you can be to the world. To all of you world changers, I send my love, I send blessings, I send an invitation to come and join with us and be a part of living the confident life. To Shay and Trevor, Keep doing what you're doing. Keep pushing forward. You're changing the world. And I am so honored to be a part of changing the world with you. This is Jan Goss Gibson in beautiful Austin, Texas. Thank you for coming into my home, sharing a moment with me up close and personal. Now go forth and make your best first impression. Blessings.